This hurt my butt. I have a really butt. And I bought these in 7th grade, and I don't know why, but the memory of me buying these shoes keeps coming back, and I didn't know why. And I really wanted to explore that. So this had no intention of going anywhere. I was going to type it and put it in one of my stupid secret journals, and just one of my little writing exercises. But what came out really surprised me. So much so that I thought that it was a good primer for more of like an introduction to who I am and why I write. And it's not like I popped out of my mom with a mohawk and 2 middle fingers, being like, I hate my parents. It didn't happen. That's not what happened. And I think that this story actually explains a little bit more and helps people kind of understand where I come from and why I come from. You might hear a little language, so I just want to give everybody a little heads up. It's nothing too excessive. I usually like to say that this is like a PG-13 thing. No, you will not be hearing any of the penis or boob stories, so don't worry about that. People get bummed about it. People get bummed about that. Everywhere I go, people are like, oh, man. But that's not what this tour is about. This tour is about the Make Your Mark tour, and there's a little theme, and you'll see it. So, the first story that I'm going to read is called We Are the Dirt Poets. Standing there in the aisle, I couldn't decide which ones to pick. Green with the white stitching would clearly increase the odds of random arm punches and back of the neck slaps from the much older and larger kids. Brown would have to do. I grabbed the shoes off the shelf. They were plastic, and the tag read $9.99. I held them in front of me under the yellow lighting of the clearance section, and they were ugly, and I knew it. But they would help me blend and melt into the white cinder block walls of 7th grade. One part of me was thankful that I was making progress towards fitting in, because I was moving toward that Miami Vice look that was deemed so cool that year. Yeah, I know I'm old. These shoes were also one more way to avoid the hairy knuckles of the imposing wrestlers looking for any reason to stab me in the back with something sharp. The weapon of choice was a multicolored pushpin stolen from the woodshop bulletin board. Placed in between the middle and ring fingers, the pins were concealed just enough in the palm to be undetected by hall monitors, but protruded just enough to make it through whatever thin t-shirt I happened to be wearing that day. Walking back to my mother's shopping cart filled with her potted plants and the many pairs of pleated slacks I talked her into buying for me, I placed the brown boat shoes into the cart with a bit of hesitation. See, it felt wrong. It felt like I was lying to myself. But my overwhelming sense of self-preservation managed to justify the purchase. The cool kids who had girlfriends and told stories of getting to 3rd base wore boat shoes, and I never saw anyone with tight-rolled slacks, boat shoes, and a polo shirt get the shit beat out of them. They were always the hatchet men, the wrestlers, the tough guys, the kind of guys small, skinny, and girly kids like me prayed we could be friends with.